Okay, now I am ready to add my 5 rows of black in my Fibonacci sequence. I've done 5 rows of red, and that came after my 8 rows of black. So now I'm doing 5 rows of black. And I'll put the Fibonacci sequence in the description of the video for your reference. So now the problem is I want to start on my next row black, but my black is on the wrong side of the needle. Now if I had circular needles or double pointed needles, this wouldn't be a problem. If I had double pointed needles, then I could simply start knitting from, I would push my work over and start knitting from that side. But since I don't, I'm going to show another way that I've learned to improvise on this project. This is a very good beginner's project, and this is actually the first project that I've actually done any improvising on. So what I do is I need the black to be on the pointed side of my needle. So I'm going to gently insert the needle under my my stitches, under my row, and I don't want to pull too much because it'll mess up the work. So I put it under there, and I'm gently pushing the work onto this needle while I'm pushing this needle through there. So, and be very careful because otherwise some of your stitches will fall off, and then you might even do what they call dropping a stitch, and that will leave a hole in your scarf that you'll have to try to fix with like a crochet needle. Now I have switched my work to the other needle, and now my black yarn is on the right side that I need it to be on. And now you'll see that this is the right side of the work because on my other stripes they're all nice and neat. The red is solid, and if you turn it around to the wrong side of the work, you'll see all this red and black mixed in. And this would actually look a lot better on a circular needle because you would actually kind of be double knitting, and it would be like more like a tube is how your scarf would look if you had a circular needle. But I don't have that, so we'll make do with this, and this would be the side that the person wearing the scarf would have facing outward. Now what we're going to do, since we are on the right side of the work, I would normally slip the first stitch, but the problem is that that will leave a red stitch next to our black stitches in the work, and we don't want that. So instead of slipping the first stitch as I normally would, I'm going to knit the first stitch, and then I will knit the whole row. I will not follow the pattern. And if this were to be on the wrong side of the work, like I said in the other video, instead of knitting the whole row, I would purl the whole row. But since this is on the right side of the work, we will knit the whole row. And I will show you the difference on this first row. And what I do, I usually, the last 3 or 4 stitches, I give it a little extra pull to make them a little looser. And on my next row, the first 3 or 4 stitches, I am going to pull to be tighter. Now you'll see the nice neat knit stitch shows me I'm on the right side of the work. And then on the wrong side, you'll see where it's the red and black mixed in. Now I'm going to turn my work because I'm on the next row of the black. Now the next row you would treat as a normal, you would treat with the pattern. And also, since I have the red and black yarn, I'm going to twist the yarn around one time before I'm actually going to slip this stitch since I'm still on black, and that makes a neater edge on the finished scarf when you slip it, because this edge kind of curls in neater and it's not poking out with all these uneven stitches. So I've wrapped my red yarn around a little bit, and that way it will just continue like on this side to pull up along the inside edge of the scarf. And next I'm going to follow the pattern, so my yarn is back in front of the needle, and I'm going to insert the needle in the front and purl these first 2 stitches, and I pull it tight like I said, purl, and then go back to knit 2. And then when I finish in the knit 2, purl 2, ribbing. And then the other good thing that I learned during this process was a way to keep the yarn from getting all tangled up together. And that is, I learned that from Tina Wynn, who does some crochet videos. And that is to put your yarn in like little plastic grocery bags. And that way, you see that they still get tangled up a little bit, but they don't get as tangled on the end part. Alrighty, so that is all.